Welcome back here to the IlliniGuys Sports Spectacular. You may have heard the term NFT and wondered, what is it? And you might have also wondered, how do I get one? Well, Steve Thayer is with NextName.io, and he's doing Illini NFTs. So, Steve, welcome to the Sports Spectacular. Glad you're with us. Now, I know NFT stands for non-fungible token. I think I get a gold star for that, right? But what is that? What is a non-fungible token?
Well, I guess the question is, what is a fungible token first, right?
There you go. Let's get fungible.
Yeah, of course.
It's fungible. Think of Bitcoin as fungible. They're all the same. Non-fungible means they're all different. They're not the same. So an NFT is essentially a one-of-a-kind asset. It resides on the blockchain. It's a single digital file. It's different from all the other NFTs in some respect. It could just be a serial number, could be a different picture, a different image, different, NFT, but they're all technically different, and you can verify the ownership of that little space on the blockchain by, putting it in your digital wallet, purchasing it, and owning it. Does that help? Most people are still confused at that point. We usually just say, think of it as a digital collectible, what a baseball card is in a digital format. People, I think, get digital collectibles. They don't get NFTs. They don't know where they really exist or where they reside or what the significance of having a little space on the blockchain really is. But it is important. It's proof of ownership. You can verify with certainty that you own that space of the blockchain. Why is that important? Well, if you were thinking in terms of a digital collectible, something that might have value down the road, you'd want to be able to prove that you own that and you have a certificate of ownership. And the blockchain essentially provides that verification of ownership to that little space on the internet.
Okay, I have to admit, digital collectible that you have, autograph, image, somebody sent. I mean, how would you? And then it gives you.
Well, yes. So let's say I take a picture of you. I've got it on my phone. If I wanted to make an NFT out of that, I could take that image and basically store it on the blockchain and now say that is image number 1 of you, right? I could mint another one and just like it and create image number 2, but each image would have a serial number associated with it, and you could verify that my image, the first one, is different than the second one because it's got a different serial number. So that's how you get proof of ownership, and that's what makes it non-fungible. Even if it's the same picture or image, it's a different copy. Just think about a picture you buy of a famous piece of artwork. There's the original, and then there's one of 500 reproductions, right? How do you know that? At the bottom of the picture, it says 1 of 500. Now, what if you took number 1 and put it on the internet and said that is serial number 1, and then number 2 to 500, all in separate files, all on different places on the internet? And if the blockchain were able to verify that ownership, you could then with certainty say, I do own, and I can prove that I own that space of the blockchain as image number 1, 2, or 500.
So this is really something that younger people will have no problem with, and people who are collecting baseball cards, memorabilia, comic books, it's kind of the same thing that has been going on, just digitizing it.
That's right. I mean, in trying to provide a way to verify ownership, which is something that, because there's a lot of counterfeit things out there, right? You have an autograph, something that you think is autographed by a famous person, but you don't know for sure.
Exactly.
And if you could buy an NFT of that autographed merchandise, you could verify ownership. In fact, they're using NFTs to prove ownership of physical assets in the world. So, you could have a autographed picture of something and add an NFT to it to be the certificate of ownership. And when you pass that asset from one person to the next, you could also pass the NFT to verify that that is your certificate of ownership associated with that piece of collectible.
And for people who are paying attention, Patrick has a new microphone that he'll be issuing an NFT for just later tonight.
Yeah, I had to try it out tonight. This is the first time. So I looked at your website, and I'm looking at an NFT of Kenny Battle, Marcus Liberty, Deion Thomas. You've got Illini legends. You've got current Illini athletes as well. I think the average price is around $25 for each token. Like, what can I do? Can I do I store this on my phone? Is it in an app? Do I give this to my kid for Christmas? What's the idea here?
So when you go onto the site, you actually create a digital wallet, which is really an access key to go find your digital collectible on the internet, your NFT, wherever it resides. So digital wallet is your security device. It's the place that you store your NFTs. And when you go onto the website, you're creating a digital wallet to put your digital collectible. So you can buy it on the website and it transfers over to your digital wallet, or really it just provides a key to go find your NFT on the internet where it resides.
So I just go to store.nextname.io, right?
Right. Well, you just go to nextname.io and you'll find all of the NFTs that are for sale. Once you buy it, then you're going into the blockchain site, which is where you're creating a wallet to actually purchase a token.
And then are you guys going to be at all the home games this year? What's the story there?
That's the plan. But I bought a truck and trailer, and branded it with NextName and tried to set up the perfect tailgate that I always wanted to have anyway. Finally had a good excuse to do it. And there's finally room to put all my tailgate stuff in it. So we have been setting up, for the home games in Lot 31 and plan to do it again in partnership with the Suburban Illini Club on Saturday. I don't know if I'll make the Thursday night game. I'm trying to move my schedule around to make it, but we're going to be at every other game and just have a great time.
Talking with Steve Thayer, he is with nextname.io, talking about Illini NFTs. So you've got the tailgate. Here's my question, I guess, with NFTs, is that I think that most of us are vain enough, if we buy something like Patrick's new microphone, he wants to show you the new microphone. So if I buy an Illini NFT, I can't put it on my mantle, right? It's going to only live in the blockchain.
Well, what you could do is take it and there's an integration that we're developing, to be able to display that NFT on your wall. So literally on a digital display, you could hit a button and show all your NFTs on a digital display. And it should be a fairly straightforward application. Blotco, the wallet provider, has that integration with a company called Mural, which is a nice fancy digital display that's got a Netgear router built into it to connect to. But that's about $500. So we're trying to make it a little easier to put it on any digital display through an Applecast or Simulcast or other simple way to do it. But that's a way to show off your NFTs. Really, our platform is trying to find a quick and easy way for fans to support players. We try to stay away from all this NFT stuff when we talk about it. And we say, you want to support your team, buy a team token. You want to support a player, buy his token. Majority of the proceeds are going to the players. It is the simple, easy way for fans to support the players. When we developed the program, we used an NFT because it was a perfect legal contract to enter into an NIL contract with the player. So a fan buys an NFT, forms a contract with the player to sell his name, image, and likeness, and now you can legally hand the player money. Without that little legal contract called an NFT, you can't do it. You couldn't walk up to a player and say, here's $20, thanks for playing. Right. But you could buy an NFT and a picture of him. So, we've tried to create, a super easy way to support fans or support players and teams and get it out on the internet and make it available for all fans to jump online and have a little bit of fun with it, collect something with it, have something that could be worth something someday, but it's kind of a fun way to engage fans to support their teams and their players.
Yeah, it sounds really cool. I would think this would appeal to the younger crowd a lot too, because this is what they deal with all the time. They do crypto and things like this all the time. Of course, so do some old people, just not old people like me. So as you look at this in the future, what do you see the expansion for this? How can this expand into another realm?
Well, so first of all, Illinois won't be the only school on the platform. We launched Illinois because we're Illini grads, and we wanted to give them their first shot at it. But we're in discussions with schools like Loyola and their basketball team, and Sister Jean, and you might see a Sister Jean token down the road. You can see how different teams could get excited about promoting their players, in their NIL efforts and trying to find ways to engage fans to get behind their teams. Think about a March Madness event where we're doing a competition among the top players in the country to see who has the most fan support, whether by team or by player. And, Illinois with 800,000 alumni could win that game. If we were engaged, we could prove to the world that we have more fans, more loyal fans than anybody else out there. And that's really what we're trying to do. We're trying to create a platform to engage fans, to get them excited about supporting their players. Because if they don't, somebody else will. And those players can enter a transfer portal. And if you don't, find a way to, compensate your players, provide some sort of minimum level of compensation to them, they're going to go find another team to play for. It's because it's the first thing out of their mouth when they're recruiting is, how much money am I going to make if I come to your school? And that's unfortunate, in some respects, but it's also reality. The reality is these players are coming from communities where they don't have a lot of money, and, the scholarship covers school but doesn't cover, other expenses. And this is a really an easy way to provide a supplemental scholarship, to a player and a team and every player on the team, if you want to get behind him or not. I mean, if you don't like NIL and you don't want to do this, don't do it, but, I think the schools that do, I think this is the new paradigm. And I think what you'll see in the future is a platform, either our platform or a platform like ours, providing easy ways to engage fans, to get behind their players. And it'll take a while. It's, like you said, the younger kids might get it sooner than older kids, but you'll find that the older fans are the guys that are going to be able to cut the bigger checks, provide more meaningful support. And when they get it, we might be issuing $50,000 tokens or $100,000 tokens in very limited quantities to give that higher end donor or fan an easy way to provide a meaningful benefit to a player.
So who's your most popular NFT right now?
Well, the legends are always great, but Chase Brown is probably going to take the race right now. I mean, he's doing great. First game right out of the gate. We sent an email to the people who signed up for our platform after the first game and, talked about the players and their performance, including Chase's, and sold a bunch of NFTs right out of the gate. So that's an NFT that could be worth something. I actually was at the game thinking, oh my gosh, I haven't bought Chase Brown's NFT yet. So I jumped on and bought it, and I got serial number 2, which I thought was significant because it's the second NFT, issued in, which could have more value than serial number 3, 5, or 50. And the first batch of NFTs is randomly issued in quantities of 50. So when you jump online, just because you're the first one to buy it doesn't mean you're going to get number 1. You're going to get 1 to 50. And then when the next 50 are sold, you're going to get 50 to 100, and that's just a way to, give you a little bit of a shot. You don't have to be the very first one online to buy an NFT as somebody when it's issued, but you got to be in the first 50.
So how long does it take then to, monetize this out to the players? Because we keep reading stories of how different players at different schools, we saw Texas A&M has already distributed $4 million to their athletes. So what's the time lag for the players so that somebody knows, hey, I'm really benefiting Chase
Sure.
or whomever?
Every month. So
Wow.
we'll basically take the sales for this month and pay it out next month. We're about to make the payouts for last month. This month, I think our contract says by the 25th or so of the month, just to give us time to do the accounting, because we also have to pay Illinois because we're using their logo. So Illinois gets 12% of the proceeds, from the NFT sales, so we got to do accounting for them to make sure they get their money every month. And then we got to do the accounting for the players to make sure they get their money.
So I think this is fascinating. Like Brad said, we're old people. So, and I just was thinking, I'm trying to imagine Sister Jean with an NFT like up in her in her room somewhere.
Oh, the pay for pray token.
Well, I'm just thinking for moneymaker, what would the Sturdy NFT be worth?
There you go.
I mean, that could be worth billions with a B.
Huge.
We actually thought about doing some fan NFTs. I think that would be really fun. Run around the tailgates and take some footage of some fans, video, images, or otherwise, and make an NFT of it, and then have a competition to see who really is the best fan. Like, what fan can sell the most NFTs of themselves? Could you sell 10? Could you sell 20 for $5, for $10? We could make an NFT of all you guys. You could have a competition to see.
We can sell 3. That's about it. We get 3 sold.
Well, we got kids. They might take their Christmas money and buy one for dad for Christmas.
Definitely throw your kids in that shop. That might get you, or
There
your
you
dog.
go. Might get you this. Might get you up there. Exactly. So, hey, well, Steve, this is, I mean, fascinating. And honestly, asking these questions because these are the questions that I hear about NFT, and so I'm glad you cleared some of this up. Before we let you go, where do people go to get involved and buy these?
NextName.io is the easiest place. Just log onto the site. IO is like .com these days. It stands for input output, but it's just another internet tag, nextname.io, and you pretty much can take a look at all the NFTs that are available, current players. We've got the women's volleyball team. The men's basketball team will be coming out shortly. We got some golf players who are going to be adding to the platform. We got some women's soccer players going to be added soon. So it's exciting because we're trying to add as many players and teams as possible and trying to engage as many fans as possible of those different sports, because we want to be an open platform for men and women's sports. Would love to see the volleyball team sell $1 million for tokens and get some national attention about how women's volleyball is a big deal, because it is. Yeah. And more people are following it. More and more brands are picking it up. And you'll see more interest in women's sports and in volleyball and others, in the coming years. And we would like to be part of that growth and help those sports, generate some revenue for their players.
Awesome. Steve Thayer, Illini product, doing amazing things for the Illini Nation. Again, nextname.io. Steve, we appreciate the knowledge. Good luck with everything, and come back and see us again when it gets to basketball season. Let's kind of see how things are going.
Sounds great. Thanks, guys, for having me.
All right.
Take care.
Thanks, Steve.
Appreciate that.